Welcome to the Overcoming Addiction channel. In this episode, which will be part three in my three-part series on completing the recovery process, I'm going to talk about the spiritual health treatment phase. So come back and watch the video. Welcome again, everyone, to the third and final video on my completing the recovery process. And in this video, I'm going to talk about a critical area of treatment which needs to be extended. But this one is special. It's called the spiritual health treatment phase. And this is the most important area because it will cement the first two and propel the one recovering on the road to a fulfilling life after recovery. Here is where one is reintroduced to their purpose of where they will find a better life after recovery, or how they will find a better life after recovery. Now, in the first video, I talked about the physical health treatment phase, which I said was a two-step process that I think should be used to restore the physical body. Step one was the physical detoxification period. Now, it's usually a medically assisted period designed to safely manage the treatment of withdrawal symptoms. All substances may not successfully be treated using the same methods, especially with what these drugs have out, these drugs that are on the street now have in them. Most of them are being laced with synthetic drugs such as fentanyl. And this new stuff that is out that's even more deadlier called tranq. And these new synthetic drugs, like I just mentioned, will require an innovative approach to successfully treat them. And the second step, which I call the extended physical stabilization period, would be designed to allow for the repair of the more serious damages to organs that have taken place over the duration of the substance abuse period. And damages I'm referring to are the ones that really are impacted by these newer drugs, especially this stuff called tranq. Which is why I said treatments will have to be more innovative and more extensive. Now, in the second video, I talked about the mental health treatment phase, which is the phase that addresses the psychological impact of substance abuse, including therapy for trauma, anxiety, and depression, which often accompany physical health issues. Because substance abuse also impacts the senses, many who struggle with it are not only being attacked physically but mentally as well. And with the introduction of these new synthetic drugs that I keep mentioning, an innovative approach is needed to address the intense psychological impact these and future synthetic drugs will have. Now, that is going to bring us to the final video on this topic of completing the recovery process, which I call the spiritual health treatment phase. Now, there's a reason why I have cut this video into three parts, because I have three phases that I believe will be required moving forward to successfully treat people who are struggling with abuse. And that is because of the dangers that these new drugs present that are out on the streets now. They're being laced with stuff that are much more deadly than the stuff that I used when I was out in the street using drugs. So that's why I said there needs to be a comprehensive approach to completing the recovery process. I don't think it can be done with just going to get treatment for the physical symptoms anymore, or just the mental problem that people have with it has to include all three phases. And that's why I have said that this final phase, to me, is the most important one, because as you'll hear later on, it will help you to move forward in life after recovery. And that is, as I said, the spiritual health treatment phase. And it requires a person in recovery to develop a spiritual connection to a power greater than themselves. Now, this approach often complements the body's natural healing process. Of course, we know the body does have a natural healing process, which can sometimes be hindered by various factors such as stress, trauma, or illnesses. The concept of spiritual health treatment is deeply rooted in the idea that connecting with a higher power can provide strength and guidance during recovery. By fostering a spiritual connection, individuals may find a sense of purpose, inner peace, and resilience that supports their overall well-being. Many treatment programs focus only on mental and physical recovery methods. This makes sense to me because the clinical treatment programs are often designed to address the mental and physical aspects of recovery, because these areas can be measured and treated with established medical practices. Obtaining spiritual wellness is not a clinical science. Spiritual wellness is more personal and subjective, making it less suited for a clinical approach. Therefore, it is up to the individual to seek this type of health treatment for the continuation of their recovery from substance abuse. For many, spirituality can be a powerful source of strength and motivation during recovery. It can provide a sense of purpose, community, and inner peace that complements the clinical aspects of treatment. Individuals who seek spiritual wellness often find that it helps them maintain long-term sobriety and overall well-being. My spiritual well-being journey has allowed me to see the natural world in a different light. It has also allowed me to understand the supernatural world. And over time, and through studies of scriptures, I have gained a deeper understanding of the spiritual world. The spiritual wellness journey is one every recovering substance abuser should take. This journey has taken me beyond just mental and physical restoration. Restoring my soul has allowed me to see many of the challenges we face in life before they become a challenge. It has helped me to easily course correct whenever necessary. Developing and maintaining a spiritual connection to our higher power removes the stress of not knowing what tomorrow will bring. And that allows me to think clearly today. Finally, it is important for each person to explore and find what works best for them in their recovery journey. Whether it's through meditation, prayer, nature, or other spiritual practices, the key is to find a path that resonates personally and supports their holistic health. In my book, The Effective Use of Spiritual Tools, I detail how spirituality enabled me to overcome addiction. Additionally, the reader is presented with suggestions to help them develop their own methods or tools for combating many forms of abuse. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to put up a flyer Well, anyone who is interested can purchase my book, The Effective Use of Spiritual Tools, and my book, Pressures of Addiction, Finding a Way Out. That book details how I struggled with addiction and the pressures that it was for me to continue to operate as an addict, and also details the pressures I faced finding a way out of addiction. So if you have someone or you know someone that's struggling with addiction, please, the information will be at the end of this video in the flyer where you can contact me personally, places where you can purchase the book, the publishing company, and if you like, you can leave comments in this video. Also, you can email me if you have suggestions that you would like to hear me discuss or topics that you might want to hear about. I'll be glad to hear from you. I would also be glad to hear your thoughts on this three-part series on completing the recovery process. If you haven't watched the first and second videos, please go back and look at them. I'm trying to introduce a comprehensive approach to the problems of substance abuse that are facing our society today. So stick around. I'll have more for you in other videos. And don't forget to like and share the videos and subscribe. This helps me to get the message out. So until the next time, I'll see you again on the Overcoming Addiction channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you'd like to purchase a copy online, go to the She Publishing website. Also, you can also purchase them at Barnes& and Noble and Amazon online. And for a signed copy, you can email me. The email address is shown, and I will gladly send you a signed copy. Thank you.